I'm good. I'm ready.
All right. Here we go. We're recording in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's up, everybody, and thank you for joining us on the third episode of It's On the Delivery, brought to you by Ups and Browns. Go and check that website out, upsandbrowns.com. Use promo code POD20 for 2 or more items off of the shirts and also the brown hats as well. Anyways, guys, I'd like to introduce my host, my co-host, and we also have a special guest. But first, down there in I fucked it up already. West by God, Virginia.
There you go.
I'm talking about
One out of
Luke,
two in bad.
Nomad, the delivery guy. Luke, how are you, buddy?
Oh, not too bad. Not too bad. Finished out the week a little rough, but I made it. And it's
Same
it's
here. Same here. And also, next up, right, 2 hours to my right, we have out there in Connecticut, Bobby. How's it going, buddy?
What's going on, Warriors? Vacation week, so I'm ready to go. You guys had to work. I'm sorry, but I'll be back on Monday. Here we go.
All right. And further down south there in Florida, we have Brad, the meme king. Brad, how are you, buddy?
You mean you're not supposed to take it regularly like they do to me?
I did not play that, but
You mean they're not taking it regularly like they do to me?
was that good? was that good? And last but not least, we have a special guest joining us. And I'd like to say our guest today has been with the company for almost 25 years. And I'm talking before Orion, before Ed, and before backup cameras, and hell, even before power steering, right? Y'all remember driving those stick shifts with no power steering? Whew. Anyway, she calls her family the Brady Bunch with a set of twin girls mixed in there. She is known as Miss Terrific on Instagram. I'd like to welcome to the show, Misty Welborn. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Everybody.
Welcome aboard, Misty.
That's right.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm super excited.
Let's go.
That's right. So how's everything been out there on your side of the country in California?
Hot. Very hot. I'm close to Oakland, California, so it doesn't get this hot where I'm at. And it was like triple digits this week. So
Oof.
brutal. We
Oof.
don't have air conditioning in our house.
No. Or air conditioning is in the truck either, right? You don't have air conditioning in there, do you? No.
Wait, at
No?
all?
No, go.
Come on,
You
customers.
you really only have been stuck in Patheticate, aren't you, about having?
Hold on. Yeah, I've never left Pathetic. You don't
A lot
have
of
air,
places in California don't have central AC, bro.
you don't have. Well, I don't have central AC, but you don't have AC at all. Like not.
Nothing. No.
Not a wall.
See the white
unit?
sweat? The Oh, in my house? No, nothing. I have a fan right here on the ground blowing me.
Oh, shit. Well, I'm gonna tell my kids about that so they could stop complaining. I'm shipping you to the Brady Bunch home with no air conditioning.
Jesus. So,
Go from 130-degree truck to 130-degree house. It's awesome.
yeah.
Fuck.
Oh my God.
Exactly. Thank you, Luke. But anyways, so 24 years with the company, is that correct?
Yeah.
All right. So I can't imagine. Like, I've only got 6.5. Like, Brad's only got like 15 or something. Bobby's I think's at 14, 15, and Luke 7 or something like that now, right? It's like
7 driving, 13 with the company.
Yeah, dude.
Or 8, yeah, something like that.
24 years. More power to you. That is awesome.
How many driving? How many years was that driving?
I only did part-time for 3 years. So what is that?
Wow.
A lot.
21 years?
21 years.
Jeez. Yeah, 21 years. And next year I get an 8-week of vacation.
Wow.
Is that-
I don't think
awesome.
everybody gets the same vacation.
Nope.
No, we up out at 6:30.
You get 8 weeks vacation?
Damn.
That's what we top out at. It's not including the 9 sick days.
So after 20 something years, you don't even have to work. You're like not even working. You're like 3 weeks on, 1 week off, 3 weeks on, 1 week off.
Hey,
No, but
that's what I do.
like she's a workaholic though. Like you see her Instagram, she's in there unloading tractor trailers at like
Bro.
6
Preloading
a.m.
shit.
Dude.
Yeah.
No, unloading, not preloading.
No,
Sorry.
Yeah.
unloading.
Unloading.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you didn't see the
Unloading.
last one. Oh, she unloads the trailer, she jumps the belt, and then she loads her own truck. You didn't see that part, did you?
I did not.
Oh, dude.
Pretty much.
That's
Uh-huh.
insane. That's
I know
wild.
everybody tells me I have the most seniority and I pick the hardest job in the morning to do my overtime, but I can't load the trucks because I have to think. I don't want to think. And back when I used to do real part-time work, they didn't have PAL labels. They didn't have any of that. You had to have a load guide and it would give you the evens and the odds of the truck, and you had to load it that way. And you had to do little tallies on the back of the truck to count how many stops the driver had. And so I was 19 when I started, and it was $1 more to load trucks. And I was like, no. I don't want to think. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Put me in a truck and just let me unload. That's where my happy place is. So I don't unload. And then they try to put me in the small sort, and I flip everybody off because I don't want to put little packages in a bag to zip it up and put a label on it. That has none of my attention is there. Can't do it. So
Yeah, that's
put me
a
in a
pain in the ass.
45
Happy
footer.
place. Where's your unhappy place? If that's your happy place, like, oh, I want to unload. Like, woo!
Right.
But I get the
My
non-thinking part.
Yeah. My unhappy place would be in a mall. I don't know. Place without windows.
Yeah.
That's good. So 24 years, right? I'm sure you've had your run-ins with dogs, right? So like, and I mean, you do a lot of dog things on your IG as well, obviously. But what's the worst? Like.
Honestly, I've never had an issue. I didn't used to have treats a long time ago, but I mean, I've had dogs that they didn't like me at first, but it just makes me want to get to know them more. So I carry all kinds of different treats, but I really have never had I think I have a good dog aura.
Interesting. So never had like a bad bite, like.
Mm-mm.
Wow.
No.
Knock
The
on
force
wood.
is strong. The force
Knock
is
on
strong.
wood.
The force
That
is
one.
strong. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Even cats. I can get pussy just like I can get the cats or the dogs. Anything. It's all good. They all come to me.
I'm gonna have to work on my technique over here. Something's wrong.
So this was a question that we were just talking about this before we went on, and we were just talking about college. And I know your daughters are close to college age. Are they planning on going to school? And what are your thoughts on that?
No, they're not. So that's a no. And sometimes I feel like a bad parent because I'm not encouraging my kids to go to college. But my dad was an iron worker, and that's how I ended up with the company, because he told me just get a union job and you'll be okay, right? So
And that's
That's
where
the
your
only
work
thing I can
ethic
teach
comes
myself.
from. And that's where your work ethic comes from then, right?
yes,
You totally-
100%.
Yep.
100%, and so I've had to hear, my dad rebuilt the Golden Gate Bridge. So
Wow.
I have the same thing with my children. I would totally support them if they wanted to go to college, but I focus on just getting them through high school. And my parents never once, pushed me to go to college. My dad just said, people actually pay to go to school after this school happens.
Right.
Right. I couldn't figure the concept out. And so he said, you'll be fine. Just get a union job. And, I can retire in 6 years when I turn 50 years old. So it's really hard for me to tell my kids to do something different and go to college if they don't know what they want to do, you know? So I have guided them in a different way. So, yeah.
Listen, I totally agree with what you're doing. That doesn't make you a bad parent, trust me.
No.
And that's what I said beforehand, is that if kids go to school, because I deliver to the university around it a lot, and if they're just going for nothing, just for the fun of it, all they're going to get is a bunch of debt, and it's not going to further them unless it's something that you can actually use. So you going into the workforce like you did, and your daughter's going that route, there's absolutely no problem with that, and it should be more encouraged for kids to do that, and it's not. So I think you're totally in the right.
Oh, also, as parents, you know your kids better. I know one of my kids, he's not the greatest book learner, but like he wants to be a mechanic. So I'll pay for technical college and you can own a business and be successful that way, you know. You know better than anybody else.
Yeah, definitely. If they have a skill, some type. That's what I was telling them, you know, and they're twins, but they're nothing alike. So they're picking two completely different, you know, careers, but you know, and it could change by the time that they graduate.
Right.
It's open. It's all good.
So I have to ask, so you've been with the company for 24 years, and how old are the twins?
16.
16. So what was that like, raising a set of twins while being employed at that company?
I was also single raising them.
Oh shit.
And yeah, so you know, and again, had a lot of heat I felt raising my kids, because a lot of people are home for their children. You know, back to school night sucked really bad. I would show up in my uniform. I went to teachers meetings in my uniform because I delivered in the same city as my kids went to school. And you know, being pregnant, I only worked for 3 months, and I was off for 9 months. And then when I went back to work, this was, you know, 2003. I didn't have a cell phone. You know, I didn't have any of that. And I'm, you know, in an employee's customer that I delivered to their bathroom, squeezing my milk into their sinks because my breasts were enlarged. And I couldn't do that in the back of the truck, you know. And I had to stop breastfeeding because I was working too many hours. And although I didn't work overtime like I do now, but I've never made my kids dinner. You know, they had to eat dinner before I ever got home.
Right.
I had a nanny. My parents luckily lived really close to us, so they helped me out a lot. But and then Christmas time, they knew that I was Santa's helper, and that's what I was doing. And I didn't even buy Christmas trees. I hated Christmas. I hate all holidays because I've
Don't
been with
we
the company
all?
for some. And so even Valentine's Day, it's a shitty week. You know, I'm making good money, but we see it in a different way than other people see it. They blow it out of proportion, and they buy all this shit, and it's for what? Like, I'd rather give my kid something on a Tuesday of April than, you know, a day that some calendar tells me that I have to buy them something. So they've grown up very you know, told my kids Santa Claus wasn't real.
You mean he's not?
Right off the bat, you were like, "Hey, happy birthday! You know, you're 2. Santa's not real. Gotta go." Like, just like that.
My daughter told me that she caught me one time stealing money out of her piggy bank to put it under her pillow for the tooth fairy.
Yeah, we just.
Oh my God!
we
that's
just had this.
genius. Holy shit! Why haven't I done this?
Didn't we just have this discussion?
Cash.
Are you serious? I've been
No,
paying
my kid trapped my
Yes,
6-year-old.
listen, hold on. This is such a good story because, Misty, we were just literally talking about this on the phone like last week. Go ahead, Brad. Tell the story.
My 6-year-old, let's say, I don't remember the exact dates, lost a tooth on Monday. My wife gave him $2. Okay. Put it under his pillow. All's well and good. Not 3 or 4 days later, Wednesday or Thursday, he loses a second tooth. I find these $2 bill or a $1 bill in our change jar, and I grab 4 quarters and I put them under the pillow. And he goes, "Mom, you're the tooth fairy in the morning." And I'm like, and she's like, what are you talking about? He's like, I left one of my dollars on your dresser and it's gone. And now there's $1 under my pillow.
God.
I don't really know if it was the same dollar, but this kid had the foresight to lay a trap for his parents to
He's
see who
smart.
they would.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, you're screwed.
Savage.
When he's 16,
Savage.
yeah.
Yeah. She told me years later. Like 5 or 6 years later, she told me, oh, by the way. And when you have twins, they're losing teeth like crazy. It's like all the time. And so I just was throwing teeth at the same time. No, but they lose them in the same week.
Okay,
It's just double. It's just double the tooth loss.
Yeah.
Oh
So I've just been real with my kids, because we were alone for us three for a really long time before my husband came into the picture. And so it was interesting. And I've been telling them I can't wait till they turn 18. I want to break them one peak. I want to break them. And I want them to work for me. And I want my son-in-law, because my son-in-law is a driver, and I want us to switch with them every single day and just break them. Show them what I do every day.
I love it. I love
Run! Fucking take off when they're coming up to the truck and make them run after my truck.
it. I love it. I love it.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I don't know.
Brad, I think we're going to have to send her a drill instructor hat at least.
That's fucking awesome.
Because that would be a video in itself.
Right?
Yeah, just.
Nah, that's awesome though. Just to be, that's the way. Like, because the kid's gonna be 2 next month, and he's the only one right now. But
Tell him Santa's not real now.
yeah, you like, and I'm like,
Will.
that's the way. Like, no, but
You
like,
can edit me out.
no, but like, that's the way I want to be too with them, or with him. It's just like, you gotta be up front. Yeah, 100%.
No.
100%. Like, what are you gonna lead him on for years of his life to believe that?
Yeah.
I'm so, when they were probably way too young, maybe 10, I was like, what sex is? Google crabs. And I made them Google crabs. And I said, that's what you get when you have safe sex. And so they were like, I'm done. I'm done.
You're
Fucking
that's
right.
terrific. Yeah. Fuck. I wish somebody. Yeah.
You mean they're not taking it rectally like they do to me? Oh, Dave. Anyway.
Fuck.
All right, that's a topping on it right there.
That's definitely the tits and bits right there. Huh?
No, I haven't even hit that one yet.
I might have to mute myself again.
No. Good times.
This is going to be a terrific episode, I think.
No pun intended there, right, Bobby? That was good. Yeah, dude, I don't have one of those yet. Shit. No. So, anyways, listen. I see you have lots of tattoos, which is awesome. Do you know how many you have? Like, do you actually like?
I do. I have one.
Oh, is it one big one?
I'm 34. I think I'm 36.
So,
Yeah.
but it's
just my whole upper torso. Yeah.
So
I don't know. I have not counted.
Okay. All right. I was just curious.
No.
That was one thing,
What's the latest
like
one?
over $10,000. Latest one would be Christy Strong.
Nice.
How's she
Yeah,
doing?
yeah. You want to bring that up? You want to let people know? Want to let the listeners know what's going on there?
Oh my God.
Totally. Go ahead.
Very, very special, awesome warrior. She's the warrior here. She's 11 years. No, yeah, she's 11 years old, and she is currently doing chemo right now in the hospital. And she is fighting for her life. She's awesome. She's always smiling. She's always happy. She has down times too, but these people are very, very close to my heart. Her mom taught me kickboxing for 16 years, I think. My kids were just born, and I was taking her class. And it's one of those things where she became a very close friend of mine. And so, yeah, it's awesome.
That's awesome. So it's literally then so you've known these people for a while, obviously. Then you said 16
a long time.
years.
Before she was even born, I've known her parents.
Awesome.
And then our kids have grown up together, played together, done dance camps together, all that. And so
that's awesome.
I'd do anything. If I could take her cancer, I would. terrible. No kids should
Yeah.
get cancer. I don't understand it.
I know
No.
that's always, I've always thought the same.
It's fucked up.
Yeah,
So,
It is.
no doubt.
Yeah.
So
Shout out to Christy.
exactly,
Yes,
Bobby. Thank you.
absolutely.
shout out to Christy.
Woo.
Shout out to Christy.
So how has it been with the going back to the tattoos? How's it been with the tattoos and in the workplace? Because we know they're frowned upon in
Oh, yeah.
certain areas.
Yeah, so that's a good question because I was the first one to have a showing tattoo in my center.
Mhm.
And, you know, some people had very small ones. And I remember one time on my lunch break, I went and got my kids' names around my wrist. And I came back with a white thing around my wrist. And they were like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, I didn't try to commit suicide. I'm good. I'm good." And then I kind of just started pushing the envelope. And I started tattooing my body when I was 29 years old. And, you know, they say you can't just get one. And it's, you know, I don't do anything half-assed, I guess you should say.
Sure.
I mean, my tattoos are extreme. My workouts are extreme. My job is extreme. With this COVID, we can't vacation. And so my vacations are every 3 weeks, like we were talking about. And I'm bored. And so I started buying plants, and my husband came home and he was like, "You have so many fucking plants." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's great. They bring oxygen, right?" And he's like, you can't do anything just a little bit. And I'm like, no, I can't. And he knows that. He knew that marrying me. I can't do anything just a little bit. So I had all my sleeves and everything was fine at work. And then I got busted on social media.
You want to tell us about it?
Damn, social media always gets it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I had some haters in other states that worked for this company, and they went up to their bosses and said, "She can have tattoos, why can't I?"
Oh.
And so one day I showed up to work, and there was, you know, shop stewards and all these guys I'd never seen before. And my boss said, "I'm so disappointed in you." And I was like, "Oh shit." Like, cause I take a lot of pride in my job, and I try to make everybody happy. And I just want to stay off the radar. I really do. I just go in, do my work, and leave. I want nothing. I don't want any beef. And we go up into this room that I'd never been in my job of 20 something years. And there's a whole bunch of men sitting at a table with laptops and shit. And I sat down, and they had a stack of fucking papers. Well, they printed out all my Instagram pictures.
Oh my god.
That's called stalking.
Like,
that's just weird. That's,
Right?
that's fucking awkward. I'm sorry, bro.
I was like,
Yeah.
That is very.
so
Look what I got.
they were, yeah. And I even posted this long time ago. They made me delete everything, but I had a picture of someone that was obviously my friend that signed their name. And it was a woman with her legs spread with a bush. And I took a picture of the screen and I posted it, and they didn't like that picture at all.
Oh my goodness.
I had pictures of me doing handstands in the truck, and they said it was unsafe. I had pictures of me hiding in boxes, like behind boxes. So I had to delete everything, and I had to cover my tattoos. And so I didn't want to get anybody else in trouble because everybody at my hub was now tattooed, right? And I'm not gonna be like, "Well, they can't.
Right.
Why? You know?" So I just hid mine, and I went with the rules, and I just went with it. And that boss is gone. You know how they all
Yep,
come
every
and go.
February.
Had to
yeah.
roll with the
And-
punches.
You just do, because you know they're gonna change at some point. So the new boss came. He knew me. Everybody's tattooed. I don't post pictures in my uniform anymore with my tattoo showing, and I follow the rules. And I'm sure I still have haters, but I don't give them any ammo, right?
That's right.
So our center, there was one guy that had tattoos all over his neck, and he was threatening to do his face,
Oh,
but
Jesus.
I don't know. He got fired.
I think they would let you tattoo your face if you put the logo on it.
That may be the one tattoo they would allow.
Mm.
Tattooed now.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's crazy. What are we gonna say?
Speaking of extreme, one of your customers, because I've seen this on your Instagram, Gary Payton, the glove. I I'm a huge, when he played for the Supersonics back in the day with Sean Kemp, I was a huge I was a huge Sonics fan. I had the shoes. So, I mean, I won't lie, I was pretty fanboyed out when I saw that. So I was just curious, is Gary Payton a cool dude, or is he an asshole?
Honestly, I don't even watch hockey, so I don't even know.
He's a basketball
Wait,
player.
hold on.
It's okay either way.
No, she did. That was. Hold on, that's got to be on purpose.
It's got to be on purpose.
It's touche because I bit it.
So he's cool. He's cool, and I didn't know who he was, and I find out because I delivered to a lot of famous people, and people tell me who the famous people are before I show up there, so I know who he was. Well, actually, I didn't know who he was when I was delivering, and then when I found out, I was like, I got to get a selfie. So, but he's cool. Yeah, he's cool.
That's awesome.
I used to actually have his shoes, but I was 17 or 18, and I just wore basketball shoes in high school, but I never did watch him play. I was gonna actually tell him I don't watch hockey, but can I have a selfie? And I chickened out. I couldn't do it. I was like, he might fucking hate me, but I deliver very close to E40, and I do like his music, and I am trying to hunt him down. I actually sit at a gas station where he currently goes to every once in a while, and I wait for him and sometimes eat my lunch.
Nice.
It's also called stalking.
Stalking your customers.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Especially if you have a partial form, then you can. Partial.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like Greg Beekert. He's a retired football player.
That's awesome.
He's one of my favorites.
Raiders? Did he play for the Raiders?
Yeah.
Okay, I remember him.
And then and I delivered to Derek Carr, and he was in the back swimming, and so his wife was talking to me over the doorbell, and that other dude showed up. Oh my goodness, what's his name? He was on the same team.
I
can't think of it.
For the Raiders? Could be.
He's nobody. I mean, he left now.
He's gonna
Antonio
be so
Brown?
mad when he listens to this.
Was it Antonio Brown?
What?
He's gonna be so mad when he listens to this. Like, oh, nobody.
Yeah.
I had 3 interceptions that year. Like, he's gonna be so pissed off.
And if it was Antonio Brown, it would be even funnier because he would probably flip shit. That'd be funny.
I was top
See what I
fantasy
mean?
player of the year.
I don't watch sports. I really don't.
That's okay.
When do we have time though? Before
True.
DVR, when do we have time?
I don't even have cable.
That's a good bill you're saving.
Yeah, true that.
Yeah.
But
Fucking never mind. I'm not gonna mention any providers.
No.
See what I did, Brad?
Yeah,
I'll
no.
stop myself.
There you go.
no, it's good. So, anyways, let's bring it back. Let's bring it back here, away from cable providers and all this stuff, Luke. Another question. My voice just cracked. Another question. So, I mean, because we can't imagine. Because
I've been driving for 6 years. I'm a veteran. Hello.
Yeah. What? But so like we can't imagine how this must be for female drivers, because it happens to us male drivers a lot, but guys are pigs, obviously, because everybody knows this. And I mean, I guess some women are probably too, but how often, like, you must get hit on a lot while at work, right? Like, we can't imagine how it is for female drivers. Let's just let everybody know what's it like to be a female driver delivering.
Well, okay. It happens a lot, okay?
You got stories.
I have a lot of stories. I have good stories. I have bad stories. And it's interesting, but one day it's going to stop. So I take them. I take them because I'm like, one day I'm not going to get a compliment. I'll be like, oh, there it is. I hit the ugly day. You know what I mean? So it's going to happen. But I've had it bad. I was inside of a 7-Eleven one time, and I gave the computer over, and they hold you hostage. That's what they'll do, is they won't give you your computer back so you can leave.
Oh,
And that's when Miss Terrific gets really pissed off. And so I'm this nice person, right? But I have a completely different other side to me where I'm extremely mean. And so he kept doing this to me, and we kept doing it, and I was getting pissed. So I told my dad, and my dad was a retired iron worker, now working for this other district. And so they all wear uniforms. They all put flannels on, and they all went in there and stood in different corners of the 7-Eleven. And one of them went up to him and said, "Do you know the UPS driver?" And he was like, "Oh, yes." And he goes, "You ever mess with her again, we will take you out back, and you will." He gave a story. I don't know. He said he was going to take him out back.
that's awesome.
And so there's,
That is awesome.
Yeah, my dad was really pissed off. He just brought that up just the other day. He was all proud of himself, taking care of his daughter.
Of course.
But it's nice. I had a street sweeper guy hit on me this week. And it was 109 yesterday, and I'm completely soaking wet, and I'm just walking up this driveway, trying to pretend like I love my life. And I get to the guy, and he's like, "Is it hot enough for you?"
Oh, no.
I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm hanging in there." He's like, I go, "I'm really hot." And he goes, "Well, you look good doing it."
Oh my goodness.
And,
See,
Oh,
I think a lot of the times, because people hit on me that I wouldn't expect to be hit on by, but I think it's the tattoos that draw people. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm their like kinky thing that they think about, or if they just like to do something totally different than their wife, because I know what their wives look like. So it's very interesting. It's very interesting.
Well, speaking of that, so an episode or two ago, you left a comment when we asked what was the craziest run-in you've had with a customer, and your response was that a customer asked you if they could borrow your uniform for their wife. Now that is kinky.
Yeah, that was a weird.
That's
and he didn't stop there.
Weird.
okay. So give us the full story now,
good,
because people
good.
are going to hear it
Keep
and
it
they're going to
going.
want to know.
Keep it going.
Or did we just lose her? She just froze up.
Oh,
Oh, there she is.
God, that's-
You're back now.
Am I back?
You're back.
Okay. Yeah. And he had to tell me that he wanted to play out a role play. He had to throw that in there too. It wasn't just so his wife. He wanted to let me know that he wanted to role play with his wife with my uniform.
Oh.
Yeah, I've been asked a lot of things. I've had, because back in the day we used to have CODs, a lot more CODs than we do now. And I'd give out my phone number, because I'd be like, write the check, call me, I'll come back type thing, And then they'd be drunk on the weekend texting me, "Hey, me and my wife want to hang out with you, drink sometime." I'm like,
It's
"What?
a different kind of COD.
Does that make me a hooker?"
No.
If it's cash or money order, if it's cash, no. If it's money order,
Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
Yes. So,
that's
it's
crazy.
flattering. It's nice. It's really, it's uncomfortable sometimes when I pull up and there's a bunch of gardeners and they're taking a break, or construction site.
Mhm.
Jesus Christ, construction,
Oh.
it's like they'll stop the whole production and then get me through wherever I got to go. I didn't know. Until I started talking on the phone. There was many years where I would bring a big old DeWalt yellow radio and listen to music every day, until I started with the new guys and they started talking on the phone, and then I got hip to that game. And my son-in-law and I talk every day. He's one of my best friends. And I would be like, he would do a route that I was on or something. I'm like, "Oh, it's the fire department. Just drive up, put all the fucking boxes in your cab, and they come out and they fucking unload it for you." And he's like, "Okay." And he's like, "Misty, no, nobody's coming out."
I knew where that was going.
Seriously?
hey guys, sit down.
I mean,
It's not
they
Misty.
didn't see you.
Oh my
And
goodness.
then I go there the next time, and fucking four firemen come walking out, take all the boxes. I thought that it was normal to pull up to a stop and people come and unload your truck.
No.
I did for 20 years. I'm not desperate.
Are you serious? 20 years? 20 years. Oh, okay.
He just muted
Bobby's
himself.
out.
He's out. Oh, that's good.
All right. Well,
I
This is great.
thought it was normal until I was on the phone.
well,
So-
while we're on this thread, I'm gonna be the one to ask it, and you don't have to answer it if you don't want to. But all
Partial.
guys want to know how do women deal with the pee bottle issue? Because you obviously can't go in a bottle. So how could you
I'm very
go
resentful.
emergency tinkles, if you will?
So I drink a gallon of water a day. And right now with COVID, there's no bathrooms. There's none. I used to go to churches, schools, because I have an all resi route now. So I have to drive sometimes 20 minutes. So I have to plan it out. Sometimes I'm hauling ass in that 20 minutes to get to a bathroom, but it totally sucks. And I've had other women tell me that they've tried Starbucks cups. I can't do that. There's outhouses everywhere. I refuse to go in outhouses. I won't do it. I'll piss behind an outhouse before I go in it. I can't do it. So I do a lot of driving. I've never had an accident.
Yeah, make sure you
25
knock on wood.
years.
I know I'm getting old. My bladder's gonna get old too. You know.
That's a whole new meaning of the circle of honor.
Oh, come on, bro. That's bad.
But also, you mentioned this a little bit a while ago. But you said that your workouts are pretty serious. I mean, is that more of a hobby or is that something you do a lot?
It was until COVID. It was. I work out. My workout partner competes, and I would never compete because I see what they go through, and I like sweets too much. That's to an extreme as well.
Can
Plus,
you
I
still
can't get
send me
all
the
that-
cake that you're going to bake? Can you tell them about your baking?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I love to bake. I bake a lot, and I bake and I go and deliver it in my own personal car.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but no, I mean, I think it's it's the way I meditate. And so when the gym is open, I go to the gym at 5. I work out for 2 hours before I go to work. The gym is closed, and now I'm unloading trailers. And it's been months since I found this going to unload, and I think it's the first time I've been able to really get that adrenaline rush that I used to get when I was going to the gym. So it helps me keep calm so I don't hurt people when I'm working.
Yeah,
Because I'm a bitch, actually. I'm an asshole.
that's yeah.
Kind of gotta be. You have to be sometimes.
Yeah, you need
People
something
walk
to
all
keep
over
you.
you.
Yeah.
It's fucking rude.
Yeah,
know?
you gotta be.
And then other people are giving you popsicles and fucking bringing you in their house to show you pictures of their dogs. You know, it's whatever.
That's good. What else we got here, Bobby? You got some questions for her?
Oh, hold on, let me get closer to the microphone. I forgot about the baking one. How soon are you going to be up and running with the baking so that you can send them out to mainly podcasters first and then players later? But
Like cake, I could do my Madeleines though for sure. I can ship those.
And then, yes, ship is ASAP. And then I guess I'm going to stick to the gym stuff. Where do you find all that motivation? Like 5 o'clock is early, and then the gym closes. You're like, oh, most, like less terrific people would be like, I'll just sleep in. But you're like, nope, I'm going to wake up and go unload, then unload my truck, and then go home. Where do you find all that motivation?
Well, probably because I don't want to let myself go. I'm scared. I'm old. I'm 44. I take a lot of pride in, for a long time, I poisoned myself with drugs and alcohol. And when I was 29, I got sober. and I started fueling my body and putting good things in my body, and realized that it makes me feel better, right? Like if I don't go to the gym, I'm lethargic and lazy all day. And so if I eat something shitty, I feel like shit. So I've been meal prepping for 13 years before it was like a thing to do on social media, you know, and because I would be at work and I would be crashing, you know, and we have a very physical labor job. And so I finally got the concept, well, if I put the right kind of food in my body, then I'm going to have the power to get through this day. And so that's what I do. And typically I eat really clean so I can have my sweets every day, because I balance it out. You know, I won't eat carbs so I can have a fucking cookie. And but you know, I mean, I'm 44. I'm an old lady. I'm like an aged woman.
Do you think you're really old, or do you think you've just experienced a lot in your life that it seems that you might be old? Because you don't seem old to me, unless that means we're all old here, talking about how not old we are.
It's body age, right?
Very true.
You've just experienced a lot, so go ahead.
Yeah, my body age is like 65 because I've been doing physical labor for almost 25 years, right? And when I get out of bed, I'm going, oh, my knees hurt, my hip hurts. I'm limping into the kitchen to get my coffee, and then I drink my pre-workout, and I become a new fucking woman, and I eat some carbs, and I go to work, and once I hit the ground, I gotta go. I mean, but
so just to clarify for our listeners, your body is that of a 65-year-old? Just so when they know who they're listening to. Okay, just want to double check.
No, the inside. Okay, I can bend over to pick up a toilet paper roll and throw my fucking back out. If I cough too hard, my fucking knee will hurt. I mean, I'm a mess. You know, when I was 22 or 23, however old I was when I started driving, I was jumping out of my truck and I was running like I was on Survivor. Okay. And the old timers would be like, you're going to slow down one day. You're going to slow down one day. You're going to regret this. And I was like, I'm on fucking fire. Like, you're crazy. And I gave it 110% and I delivered as fast as I humanly possibly could. And right around 15 years, man, I'm using both hands on the hand rail. I'm get out slowly because it puts a toll on your body. And now I tell the young kids, don't do that shit, you know. And I'm coasting into retirement now. I have 6 years left, and so I'm trying to be nice to my body. I really am. I don't have nothing to prove to anybody at my job anymore. They can't tell me how many stops I have to do, and so I am not trying to produce numbers anymore. I proved myself years ago. All those bosses are gone because they don't stay. So these new bosses, if they think I suck, I don't even care. I don't need my boss to approve my 32 stops an hour. I think I'm a solid 15, and I'm fucking happy with that, you know, because I don't get hurt and I do my job safely, very safely.
Whoa, 32 stops an hour. That's pretty good.
That's fucking very good.
I can do 40.
Oh, shut up, Brad. You're a runner.
Yeah.
Runner.
Runner. Mailbox.
Mailbox king over there, Brad. Yeah.
Paper boy route.
What do you guys do?
I'm
you guys in the 20s?
Yeah, I'm usually around 20 stops an hour. I go out with probably about Thank you. I go out with a kid. Jesus. Yeah, I go out probably with about 100. I probably go out with about 130 average, and do
oh my God.
And I do about 100 miles.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That made it better. I was like, what the fuck do you do all day? Okay.
Yeah.
That's better.
We make
That's
podcasts,
better.
actually. We just talk on the phone.
We actually talk on the phone all day long.
We just call each other, put in breaks, we post them breaks, and then switch the breaks.
I finally got a Bluetooth, by the way.
Yeah,
shit.
poor Luke's been out
broke
of
down. It took till 2020, but I finally got one.
Luke hasn't been on the phone with us really because he had never had a Bluetooth, but
I jam out.
Yeah, this week's about to change.
All
right, Dave. So, you got that story you wanted to tell us
Which one?
Saturday.
Or you almost lost your life.
Oh,
apparently.
about how I almost died.
Oh yeah.
Well, I didn't almost. Okay.
Yeah. No, you hyped it up. You got to tell the.
You
they
hyped
don't
it
listen.
Okay. So listen.
you
Listen.
gotta-
All right.
Big
All right. All right.
Let's
I'm
get into it.
gonna paint the picture for you. So I was going down this like 1-lane back road, and I was going like 25 miles an hour, not fast, right? And then all of a sudden, a cicada flies into my door. Okay, you guys know what I'm talking about? A cicada.
Yeah.
You guys know, right? Have you ever seen one of those things? They're like,
Yes.
they're
Decent
pretty
size.
big. They're
it
pretty
hit you?
decent size.
Are
like,
they even out right now?
yes, because I have the cicada
Apparently.
killers in my front yard, and those things are
Okay.
scary looking. Go Google that shit. That is just out of this world. But so a cicada flies in through my side door, scares the shit out of me. Just because it's big, so I see it. And I thought it was a bird at first. It comes flying in through my side door, dude, and now it's like flying off the windshield on the inside. Its wings are like just flapping everywhere, making all this noise. So I hit the brakes, throw it in park, jump up out of my seat. I take my hat off. I'm ready just to knock this thing into the next county, because it scared the shit out of me.
Such a badass.
No, and like, you know what I mean? It's just like I legit almost shit my pants. Like I was so scared because this thing just came out of nowhere and it was just like, and I literally almost died. Like I was so scared of this thing. I don't do good with bugs, spiders, snakes. No, I don't kill that. I had the wife kill those, man, whenever they're inside here. I mean, not snakes. I mean, we don't have snakes in my house, but like spiders and
do
stuff. Like I don't
run into snakes in the woods.
Oh,
out
in the
there where you
woods?
deliver?
Oh, yeah, dude. Oh, yeah, we got the copperheads up here and shit up in this area where I deliver. They're poisonous. That's a lot of fun. But, it's...
Oh,
Yeah, it's...
it must be
Hold
hot.
on,
It's hot out
can
west.
we just pause? Can we pause because Mr. Riffic is over there with a fan on his own music video right now?
But yeah, I almost died. So
Fuck.
that was it.
I would have jumped out of the truck when it was still driving.
Yeah.
I would have been like, I'm out.
Like, seriously. Scared the shit out of
There's
me.
nowhere.
That's not half as bad as what happened to my buddy Evan. He's driving down the road. He was like brand new driver. Like he knew 2 routes. And he's driving down the road and this duck's flying right at his truck. And he's like, no. Like he saw this coming. He's like, no. So he just keeps driving. All of a sudden, whack-a-douche. The thing goes through the bracket of the driver's side mirror, flips the big mirror over, flies into the truck, hits him, bounces off of him, and lands in the cage that's around the on the newer trucks, the big black bar that everybody uses as a handrail around the heater box. And so then he pulls over on the road. The duck's just like all flipping out in the heater cage. And then it kind of flops over, jumps out, and walks down the sidewalk. It didn't fly away, it walked down the sidewalk.
Oh, my God.
So then Friday, Evan and I are next to each other on the interstate, and here come these 2 pigeons. And I look over at him, and he looks at me. I'm like, no. He's like, no. I slam on the brakes. 1 pigeon goes left, misses me. 1 goes right, hits the fucking mirror on his driver's side. I'm like, what are you doing out here, man? Like, this is 10 years later, but still. I'm like, what's going on?
Oh, my God.
Bro, what is it with you and birds?
Oh, shit.
He's like, I don't know.
No way.
Oh,
Yes.
oh, my gosh, dude.
Oh, it's so freaking funny. He's
Ah.
like, this is not going to be a good day.
Well, at least they move fast. I got my tragic story running over a turtle that I felt
Oh,
terrible
no.
about. Oh,
You did
no.
that shit on purpose, bro.
He
No,
jumped right in
no.
front of you,
So
Luke.
listen,
Luke,
I was
don't feel bad. He jumped
putting
right in front of you. Had no time to.
I was putting them. I was putting IG Insta stories of seeing these turtles in the road, being all proud, showing me putting them across the. And then one day, it was on the main road. I was going about 50 miles an hour, so. And I saw it, and there was a car in the other lane. Dual tires. I heard the crunch. God, it just fucking. It ruined the day. I was pretty upset with myself.
Jesus Christ. So going back to, I posted that on Instagram, right? Talking about how I just like almost died. And I actually had a comment under there. And this is from, on Instagram, this, another female driver, not sure where she's from, but Instagram name upschick47. And she actually said, because I mentioned how I almost died, she said, I had a customer try and hold me on his property this past week. He was pissed because he thought something was missing from his box, and he ran to shut his gate, and she punched it and got out of there.
Oh,
So, like, what
hell
the
no.
fuck, dude? Like, I guess that goes back to having, like, the
I would've
stories
kicked
of,
him.
like, a female driver, too. Like, maybe this guy was a fucking psycho. You know,
Yeah,
like,
you can't get
dude.
in trouble for that. Hopefully, she ran through and broke his gate.
Yeah.
I had a psycho. I got the cops involved.
Do you want to tell it or no?
I mean, yeah. I mean, he's a psycho in this town. Everybody knows him. And I delivered. I was on the phone with my son-in-law, and we were talking. And all of a sudden, I delivered a package. I came back, and he was standing at my door, and I was like in the passenger side. And he said he was starting to yell at me that I didn't place the package down and knock on the door properly. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I set the box down and I knocked on the door, and he said, but my tools were in front of the door. And I was like, I don't know anything about your tools. I did my job. I put a box down, I rang
That's
the
it.
doorbell, and I came back to the truck. And he was like, you moved my stuff. My stuff was there. And I was like, I don't know, whatever. I leave, and my buddy goes, that sounds like someone that harasses us delivery people. And so I was like, okay. So then I had another run-in with him. I went to his house. I knew it was his house because he said that's his house. So I didn't want to ring his stupid ring, right? Because I didn't want him to know I was there. And he had a door with the glass on the door where you could see through. So I gave it one of those really light, we're here, and I left it, and I went back to my truck. And you have to get a signature at his house because he's a fucking problem. So I bought in, and it was going to a destination where he was going to have to pick it up. I get back to my truck, and I was like, I got away safe. Like I snuck onto his property, and I got back to my truck, and I was all excited. All of a sudden, he flies up, jumps out, and I'm like, he's here. And he's in my ear the whole time. And I get out of my truck, I walk across the street, and I was all perfect timing. And I was trying to like play that whole, and he's like, you're destroying my property. And I was like, what are you talking about? He said, you banged on my glass. Why didn't you ring my doorbell? And I was like,
oh, Jesus.
I know who you are, and this is not going to happen with me, And he's like, I'm going to call your supervisor. I said, call the fucking supervisor. I don't give a fuck what you do. Now I'm pissed, right? So I walk back to my truck, and he follows me to my truck, and he wants to man some more. I fucking lost it. I slammed my door and said, stop harassing me. I yelled it loud enough for every single neighbor to hear. And I went 2 streets up, and I called my supervisor. My supervisor had to go and talk to him at his house, and then speak to the supervisor. But then I saw a cop, and so I went up to the cop, and I asked him, because I was gonna just start calling 911 if he does this to me again.
Right.
And the cop knew exactly who he was, and he sits out of his house and gets people in trouble for speeding. So he has nothing to do with his life.
Oh my
One of those fucking people.
Dude, that's
I don't understand people.
Yeah, people are crazy. Like that's this
So
and like usually
crazy.
people are happy to see us. You know what I
I'm
mean?
here to deliver a package.
Yeah.
Right.
We don't bring bills.
Yeah, you're not. Yeah, you're
don't
not
get
going
it.
up there to cause trouble.
Maybe
you're
he's
going up there because he
no, he
ordered
can't get
shit.
Yeah. So,
Yes.
anyways, moving on. We got some other topics here, and you got a lot of stories, which are fucking awesome. So, thank you for sharing your stories, Misty. We all appreciate it, and I know the listeners are going to get a good kick out of it. So, but we're gonna
girl, baby.
yeah, we're gonna
Mommy's so proud.
we're gonna move on to the Instagram question of the week, which happened to be let us know about your helper stories. And we got quite a few responses. And I'm sure each and every one of us have a story as well. And so let me start with this one first. Also going back to the woman who commented on my dying post when I almost died. Upchick47 says She had a helper for one day only who never spoke a word. He grunted. He shut the door every time and took forever to put his seatbelt on. It's
No.
not terrible, right? I mean, he's not a big talker. So, I mean, I guess it depends on what you want. Do you want someone who's, a good, communication wise with you? Or
They
would
could
you
never put that seatbelt on.
or would,
Never.
or would you prefer them to, just not talk at all? I guess it depends.
I think you got to have some dialogue.
Sure, right? You got to have some dialogue.
Absolutely.
I
It's
mean-
awkward if you don't. If they don't talk, they're a serial killer.
Well, I mean, that's
It
a
could be
lot of.
worse.
That's a long time. That's a long time to
That's-
stay silent.
Right.
It could be worse because the dialogue that Chucky1188 from Instagram had with his helper was not very helpful. They went to the bathroom. The guy says, "I have to go to the bathroom." Chucky says, "Well, he didn't say this, but this is his story." He said, "But the guy had just blown up a 7-Eleven bathroom in less than an hour before." He says, "We'll go when we can. We got to finish the split first." The guy says, "How long is that going to be?" He goes, "About 40 minutes." He's like, "All right." So all of a sudden he sees him coming back up the driveway and he does that little leg lift like you got to fart. And then he comes up and he's like, "No, we got to go to the bathroom now." So he shit himself.
Oh no.
Then he gets a message from OMS supervisor that says, "Hey, 123 Main Street says she saw you approach the house with 2 boxes, but you only delivered 1. Where's the other one?" And he's like, "No, that was my helper." So the homeowner emails the Ring doorbell to the center manager, who texts it to the driver, and sure enough, there's the helper with 1 backs, going with 1 up with 1, back or up with 2, back with 1. So apparently he was stealing. So he shit himself. He stole a package. It's all in the same day. So he's like, "What do we do?" He's like, "Just keep going. I'm on my way with loss prevention."
Maybe it was toilet paper that he was stealing.
Yeah. So they get there and they say, "Look, you can go if you just give us the box. If you don't, we have to call the cops. You're going to get arrested." He refused to give him the box. So he got arrested. And then they found a freaking half-empty handle of vodka in his book bag. So he got drunk, shit himself, stole from a customer, and got arrested all in one day.
That's
I
very
just want to know
impressive.
how you can
Wow.
like that's just
That's
no
impressive.
fucks given.
That's a
Yeah.
home
Yeah,
run.
that's
Like that sounds like a really fun day. Like if you have no responsibilities and you're just like, what do you want to do?
No
Drink,
responsibility.
steal shit. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Why not follow that guy around for that day with a camera? That'd
Yeah.
have been
Right? Yeah.
Well, I had a good one. Not this past year, the previous holiday season. I had a kid who didn't really talk much, like Upshick 47 had. Didn't really talk much. And me, I'm a talkative guy. I guess that's why I'm on doing a podcast with you guys, right? I can talk. So, what ended up happening was, we're out there, and actually, let me bring it back a little bit. At the building, this helper was another driver's helper, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna give him to you today." I was like, "Oh, great, all right, cool, yeah, sure, I'll use the help." So I went up to the driver, and I was like, "Oh, how's your helper?" He goes, "Oh, he's great. He's great." I was like, "Okay, awesome. So then we leave. I pick him up, and we're out there, and this kid is slow as shit. This kid is so slow. I can't even tell you how slow this kid would walk. Like it looked like he was going in slow motion. And I kept telling him, I was like, "Buddy, dude, I need you to hustle, man. You know what I mean? I'm depending on you to get me back at a decent time tonight. Let's go. Get those feet moving. Let's go." And so what ended up happening was, I ended like a couple more stops down. The kid's still walking slow. I'm like, this kid's driving me crazy. I took a video of him walking to a house to show my supervisor. I was like, I'm ready to kick this kid right off the truck. Like I'm about to be done with this kid, all right? And I have a very rural route. I'm out there in the woods, and I've said it on the podcast on previous episodes that there's not a convenient mart. There's not anything on my route. It's all woods. You know what I mean? So like I'm not even in the next town over, like where all the fun is. I'm out there in the woods, which is fine, but it is fun out there. And anyways, so So I call my boss and I'm like, dude, I'm ready to get done with this kid, dude. I need you to come get him. Like, I need you to, he's like, why? I'm like, dude, he's slow, this, that. I give him the whole 9 yards. I was like, I took a video. I sent it to you. Take a peek. All right, well, tell him you got to hustle and then, let me know how it goes. I was like, fuck, right, whatever. All right, here I am telling the kid again, dude, I need you to hustle. Let's go. Nothing. The kid does not hustle. So what ended up happening? We got to this one address. I said, this one goes around back. He went around back, boom, drove off, left him right at the stop, left his ass right at the stop, right? But listen, it gets better, okay? Just when you don't think that's the end of it, it's not the end of this kid, all right? So I leave. I'm delivering for another like half hour on my own. I'm moving now. I'm like, yeah, this is great. I'm moving at my pace. Let's go. Let's get it done. And then my boss calls me, and he's like, Dave. And I was like, what's up? And he goes, so the kid's mother's on the phone, and he goes, and the kid said, he's been in this driveway for about a half hour now, and he's just wondering, if you went to go run a couple stops off real quick or what. And I was like, no, I left him. And this was the second on-car, okay? This was not my primary on-car. My primary on-car, I called and told him I left him, and he laughed. He was like, great. You know what I mean? So because we all know there's lack of communication that goes on at these buildings, right? So, the second one that called me didn't know that I left them. And I was like, I left them. And he was like, you what? I was like, I left them. And so then my boss begins to tell me that like, oh, his mom said that he has schizophrenia. And I was like, you gotta be shitting me, dude. Like, fuck. And he was like, listen, I need you to go back and pick him up. And I was like, are you shitting me, dude? Like, no way. And listen, so then I was like, whatever, you know what I mean? And he goes, plus he also told his mom that his wallet's still in your truck. So I was like, God damn it. Sure enough, it was right in the old Dyad holder, the big old fat Dyad holder, right? And
it's a Dyad 5. You've never seen one of those. You've only driven for 3 years.
Thank you, Brad. So I go back to pick him up, right? And I'm on the phone with my boss, and I'm like, where is he? And he said, he's still in the driveway where you left him. This is like 45 minutes gone now, right? And I go back to get him, and the kid's not there. And I'm on the phone, and I'm like, boss, he's not there. He's like, what? He was like, he told his mom he was still there waiting for you. I was like, dude, he's not here. He was like, go down the street and see if you see him a little bit more. I'm driving down the street in the woods, all right? Not a gas station in sight. And I can't find this kid. This kid can't be found. I'm like, dude, I don't know where this kid is, man, and I'm wasting my time, bro. And he's like, well, we can't have a lost schizophrenia kid now out in the middle of nowhere now, can we, David? I was like, oh, my God. So sure enough, I pull up a little bit further where it gets to like one of like the main highways there, and the kid is hitchhiking. He's hitchhiking for a ride. And of course, as soon as I drive up, what happened? Someone pulls over to pick him up in a truck. And
like a semi?
No, a pickup truck.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So that I call my boss back. I was like, listen, he was just hitchhiking. Somebody just picked him up. I'm done tracking this kid. I'm getting back to work. It's peak season. I don't want to deal with this, And then he's like, all right, whatever, man, get it done. I go back to work. It's still not the end of this kid. Okay. 2 hours later, I get a phone call from my supervisor again. He goes, listen, we just had an accident over here on this side of town. All right. And the kid is at the gas station at the town over from you where he got dropped off from the hitchhiker. I need to pick him up, bring him back to you, and then go to this accident. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I said, wow. I have his wallet. Tell the mother I'll be back to the building by 7 o'clock. She can come get his son, and I'll come get his wallet later. Like, no, But what happens? He brings and meets me with the kid after I just dumped his ass on the side of the road. All right? So now here's the fun part. I had to come up with a story. I'm sorry I'm rambling on here. I had to come up with a story.
14 minutes.
I know. I had to come up with a story to tell this kid to make myself not look like a jackass now, because he's going to be he's going to be on the truck with me. So I had to tell a little white lie, right?
Yeah, Brad.
So,
okay, what's the white lie?
So the white lie, what I told this kid was, I said, listen, when I dropped you off, I went to go do a couple stops that we passed. And he was like, oh. And I was like, yeah. And then what happened was I ended up getting stuck. I couldn't get out, man. And I said, I don't have your cell phone number because you met me at the building. So I couldn't call you, you know? And I said, when I went to come back to get you, you weren't there. I said, and then I had my friend who lives a few houses down from here with his tractor come over and pull me out, you know? And like, that's the lie I had to tell this kid. I was like, dude, yeah. I was like, listen, you can't tell anybody I got stuck, okay? Because I'll get in trouble for that. But
Dude,
yeah,
I was going to say that I don't have one that extreme, but I could say one real quick would be this was my very first helper, my very first stop with my very first helper. This guy was probably, I'd say he was in his mid 50s, not in very good shape.
Wasn't Terry?
And I was year one, or that was my second peak. That might have been year one as a full-time driver. And, so my first stop, it's a residential, but I'm at the top to try to put it. I'm on a street that just shoots down vertical. I'm at the very top. So I give him this box and I said, it's this, I forget, I couldn't tell you what the fucking number was. I didn't know the route that well. So I had it fucking backwards. So where this was straight down this fucking hillside, West Virginia is a mountain state. So, it's probably almost 200 yards. So I'm sitting there trying to sort the truck and I'm waiting. I'm like, man, it's taking a while. So I look down and I see how far this guy is. And he's just trucking like, he looked like Chris Farley trying just dragging his feet. So I panicked. I was going to pick him up, and me being a rookie, I panicked and I stopped. I didn't know what to do. I was like, I just let this poor man just keep trucking up this hill. He gets in the jump seat. I just said, well, you can take a break the next few stops, buddy. And I just kept going.
I felt bad.
The next few, he said, can you just drop me off to my car? I'm done. No,
you had to drive him down.
Yeah. So, I mean, I didn't really have anything too extreme, but yeah, that was my very first helper with my very first stop with the helper.
Oh my goodness.
That's all I got.
And Misty, I know you have a bunch of stories. Give us your favorite helper story.
I mean, I fired a lot of them. I remember back when we didn't have cell phones, I picked up a guy from BART and he only lasted, his pants were at his thighs. And he had to hold onto the handrail with two hands and jump in because he couldn't get his legs up separated to step onto the step. And so he did that about 6 times and I fucking drove away. I was done. I couldn't do it. And I've done that a lot. I drive him back or I leave him on the corner. I leave him at the house. I have no shame. And so what I'll tell them is after a while, I'll say, okay, you're going to do one and I'm going to do one. Whoever gets back to the truck wins. So I kind of set the pace, right? I come back and I go, well, you need to come back the same time I come back. So then they're looking back and they're seeing how fast I'm going. And so then I stop delivering because they have to do all the work and I let them know that. But probably a few years ago, before I lost my route in my hometown, I had a guy and I fired every single year. Every single year I would fire people. And because I thought I would get a younger, stronger, better, right? And they just get bigger, fatter, older. And
so true.
No offense. But you kind of keep somebody if they have a little something because you're gambling, you're playing Russian roulette with it. And I had this overweight kid, and that didn't bother me at all. And he has been a gamer his whole life, and that was fine. He was slow, but he was strong, so he was able to carry heavy packages and give me a break. But he was very interesting after starting to talk to him. And I'm pretty sure he was on the spectrum of something because he still had a driver's license, but he was on the spectrum, you know. And he told me that he liked to fuck pigs. And I was very
Hold
curious.
on, stop, hold on, time out. I have just out the blue, like he just was like, hey, knock, knock, or was it like a left turn that really did it? Like at what point when you're driving, do you just be like, hey, I do this with pigs? Like what, I don't know. What provokes this?
Why did he tell you that?
Oh my God.
I don't know. He told me he was a savant. I had to Google it. I didn't even know.
That doesn't
was
count for
fun.
pigs. That doesn't count for pigs. I don't think it does. I think it counts for
And
pianos
then-
and gaming.
And he started squealing. He squealed.
No. Oh my God.
Suey.
No. Okay, go. No.
Can you reenact that for us? Like, what did it
I
sound
don't
like?
know.
That's what I wanna know.
Oh, I've got
Hey,
questions.
what the hell is that?
The guy from West Virginia. Let's
I'm just
go.
curious what it sounded like.
That's why I kept him. I had so many questions. I loved questions. I was like, I'm not firing this guy. He's a pig fucker. That was his name, was pig fucker to everybody I went to work with. I said, I have a pig fucker. What do you got? You know, you got anything on
Holy
me?
shit.
You could say literally.
Help me. But I'm not. You can't do that. But I'm not firing you because I want to ask you questions.
Yeah.
I
perfect.
wanted to spend time with this fella and figure this guy out, and he
You knew you were
fucking
safe.
quit on me. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
He quit on me.
What's
I
his
was
name? We're gonna
pissed.
Google him. He's the next guest.
His name is P-I-G-F-E-P-E-R.
Oh, he would be so interesting. So
Wow.
interesting. And he told his mom I fired him. He's a liar.
I wondered if he told his mom that he fucks pigs.
I don't think so.
Oh, little
Jesus Christ.
Johnny, what are you
We're
doing all this weekend?
What
Well,
okay.
Mom, I went down to the
Fucker.
pig farm and got me.
Yeah, he took the pay. Oh my God.
So how far did it space between? How far from it when he told you that he liked to fuck pigs
Let's say it.
till he started to squeal? How long of a spacing was it?
Oh,
Between?
it was the same sentence. It was the same. He likes to make him squeal, and he did it. And I stopped the fucking truck. I was like, wait a minute. I said, so I called him pig fucker, and he laughed. He loved it. That was his nickname. The pig
Wow.
fucker.
I mean, I'm assuming
And
this has got to be illegal in California.
Everything's illegal in
It's illegal.
California.
It's illegal.
Especially
Not
this.
in West Virginia.
It's illegal in West Virginia.
Okay, just checking. Just checking.
He
Yeah.
likes to make him squeal. I mean, and then so I ran into him. I went into like a AT&T store or something, and I was like, "Oh, the pig fucker works here."
No.
And I didn't want to say, "Do you remember me?" I didn't want to make it weird, but I'm pretty recognizable. And he was he's an interesting fella.
Wow.
He's an interesting fella.
Interesting person.
Yeah,
Wow.
that was a first. I had a pig fucker. You know?
You mean they're not taking it ritually like they do to me?
Oh my goodness, that's so good. Wow, that's crazy. But
Man,
Good
oh my
who would have
goodness,
fucking thought?
was so.
Not the
Listen,
pig, for
is
sure.
there?
You didn't think that was coming.
Yeah,
You did not fucking think that was coming.
That's for sure.
Does this guy have an apple?
That's bullshit. I'm supposed to go to the market or something.
No.
He likes bacon for sure.
So.
He likes the feel, not the taste.
Oh my god.
Like I'm a
I gotta get that
vegetarian.
delivery guy.
Oh my goodness.
Jesus Christ.
So Misty, is there
That's
any
a mean
is there
juice.
anything that you have for us, like question wise? Is there anything that you want to ask us? We just asked you a crap ton of questions.
Yeah, thank you for sharing.
Yeah,
That was awesome.
definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to
no,
know
I mean,
about Bobby?
It wasn't me.
Buzz, Bobby, whoosh.
I don't
No,
own
I
any
mean,
pigs, that's for
it's-
sure.
are you guys all floaters? Do you have your own routes? What kind of stops do you guys do?
I have my own route.
Oh, Brad,
Wait,
you're the only floater.
Dave's a runner. Dave's a runner.
Shut up! I'm not a runner.
We already discovered you're the real runner, and you were putting it back on Dave. and
Yeah,
I
40
believe you.
stops an hour over there.
Yeah.
Keep it down.
Right.
Bobby drives the Moose or Bertha.
Yep.
Dave's got this little hunky dunk rural route, and Luke is got his own route where he does like 88 stops.
I do like 102 stops.
What, like
Sometimes-
600 pieces?
Well, I have a lot of businesses, a lot of bulk,
pickup.
but it varies for me. This is the first year that I've had a bid route. I've always covered. I've always liked to bounce around, but I picked the shittiest year to do it, being a pandemic and everything. It's not, but yeah, I don't mind it, but yeah, this is year one and I'll probably do it for another year, but I don't know if I'll keep doing it.
Yeah.
I'm technically a floater with 24 years.
So
Only
you
way
and
to
Brad
live.
think the
Nice.
same.
Good.
They make me a route.
Oh, that's
That's the
awesome.
only way to live.
Is that because you go in the morning? So if you go in the morning, they give you like an overload split route.
They run.
Yeah, because the DOT, how does that work with you going to preload like that to drive during the day?
I can work 14 hours, so it doesn't matter. So if I punch in at 6, I have to be off by 8.
Oh shit. Okay.
So I get more overtime in the morning, and then my overtime starts at 2:00 in the afternoon. So, and I posting that I work in the morning, I'm finding out a lot of people don't get that option in their building. So it's pretty cool. It goes by seniority. So sometimes they only call in a few people, and sometimes they call in 20. But right now, no one's showing up to work because of the pandemic. They're forcing everybody to work 6 days a week, and people are tired. People are, they go get tested for COVID, so they get 14 days off. But yeah, but no, I lost my route, and so I was a floater for the first time with 22 years. And so I bid on a really shitty route when I became a driver, so I never floated. I got my own route right away. It was all apartment buildings, and it was like Section 8, super ghetto. I fit in right. I fit right in. It was great. I had a bunch of bums trying to fight me and shit. People try to steal shit from me. It was a good place for me. I was able to put up with it, and now I'm delivering to millionaires. It's a totally different lifestyle, and I didn't even know that it existed because I was in the ghetto for so long. But it was, and so now I float. They make me a route, and I'm delivering to famous people and like $5 million homes, and I come home and I have no air conditioner. I'm just like, hello. Yeah.
Awesome.
But
Just to
rad.
clarify, can we use that image for the video podcast promotion? Because slow motion fan and Miss Terrific, like you with the audio clip, would look good. And I think people will be like, yeah, we're gonna listen to that.
It was all frozen. Sorry, I didn't get that.
Oh shit.
We need your permission to use your slow motion fan video.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, be like, oh,
There
on
we
this
go.
episode we
There
have
we
Miss
go.
Terrific, and it's like
Yep.
they'll click on the link. Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
There it is.
Click on the link.
Dave, record that.
Already am.
Oh.
No. Oh, Brad, wasn't there one more thing we were talking about? We were like, oh yeah, we gotta ask her. Something about goggles.
Oh,
Parcel goggles.
parcel goggles. You've had to have heard of this. Parcel goggles are when guys are at UPS and they see a girl and she looks cute at UPS, but then they see her outside because she's at UPS, and technically girls aren't always good looking at UPS. There's an anomaly. Do girls have parcel goggles for the guys at UPS? Like, are they hot for
Call
UPS?
that I call that the prison walk. So a chick walks in our building, and every guy thinks she's hot, and I'm like, that's the same as walking into a prison yard. Everybody think you don't go around all men, right?
Nice.
Right.
Yeah, no,
But does it work the other way?
It doesn't work. No,
No.
it doesn't. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I had a worker with me yesterday. She's brand new, and she's doing local sort, and she's also helping out delivering in her first car. And she came and met me en route to take some stops off of me. And she was wearing a sweater, and it was 109. And I was like, what are you doing?
Jesus.
And she goes, well, I went to the doctor's, and I didn't know I was working, and so I just came how I was dressed, and I was like, well, you need to take that sweater off. It's too fucking hot. And I go, what about your vest that you got? I made this bitch take her sweater off, and she put a what are those things? The vests that they wear, the helper vest.
Helper vest.
She put it
Helper
on backwards
vest, yeah.
with just a bra on. Yeah, and she put it on backwards. I go, girl, you look cute. And I made her deliver that way. I'm probably gonna get her fired because I said this on here, but yeah, but she's brand new to the company, and she's very thirsty. She's thirsty, so I told the guys she's available. She was already asking about some guys.
Helping her out.
You don't shit where you eat. It's a rule. You don't shit where you eat.
No, absolutely.
When COVID's over, can we hang out? Because you seem to make everything funner. If that's a word. You're just like, oh, you're wearing a sweater in 100 degrees? Take it off. Let's go.
That would be the goal, right? Hopefully one day this podcast gets so big, we can make enough money. We could go fly out to our guests and be there with them in person, and then, go out to a diner after a nice fancy place,
No offense, but I have air conditioning. Can they come here?
Fuck that. I don't even need air conditioning.
Good point. Good point.
Hey, when I retire, I could come out and be someone's helper.
Oh, there you go.
Dibs number one.
Dave's number one?
I said Dibs number one. Dave's not number one. Dave, you could be number two, but I already said number one. Go.
Yeah, listen, because the joke around my building now is I'm not good with helpers. That's the whole joke with it now.
You're making up little white lies, but as long as they believe them, that's okay.
That's all okay.
Dude, what if there was really no helper and it was just Dave's what's
his
called?
imagination?
His other voice
Because
telling him
his personality, he's the one that's
exactly. Yeah, and he's like, "How could you leave me? I didn't leave you. You're always with me." Like,
come on.
Stuart, do you hear what Dave's saying? I do, Bob. We're gonna have to get him back tonight.
Ugh, you guys are bad. Yeah. Tits and bits.
Put the schizophrenic and the pig fucker together.
Now that's
a good time.
That is a podcast.
That's a lot of guests right there.
Damn, that is a fucking podcast right there.
Anyways, guys, let's wrap it up here. Misty, awesome. Thank you so much for lending us your time, and I'm sure everyone's going to enjoy listening to this episode because it was a fun one. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Always.
Awesome.
Always. And don't go anywhere when we say goodbye. Hang around. And last but not least, just to mention it, because now all 3 episodes are going to be released to everybody. So you're going to get the first 3 episodes to listen to, which if you made it through this one, you made it through all 3, I guess, right? So from now on, it's going to be a bi-weekly podcast. So you won't get anything next week. You'll get stuff the following week and so on, bi-weekly, if you guys don't know what that means. If you don't know what that means, then, I don't know what you're doing.
Subscribe. And you have to subscribe.
Yes, that's right.
It'll automatically be there when you're ready.
That's right. Hit that subscribe button wherever you get your podcasts, so that you get notified whenever there's a new podcast. Also,
that bell.
also follow us on Instagram at It's All in the Delivery. You can find us there. You're gonna post some behind the scenes stuff, and I guess you can also follow Misty as well on Instagram if you'd like. Instagram handle is
at Miss Terrific.
At Miss Terrific. Thank you, Luke. And so again, thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you to our guests for joining us. And guys, always remember where the most important stop is, right? It's always home. So thank you guys. We'll see you next time.